the World Cup in Russia has had its fair share when host Russia beat Saudi Arabia by 5-0. Many thought the tournament will be, full of goals, but that has not been the case so far, as most of the favorites have either flattered to deceive or not come to the party at all. The German machine needs some grease, and the Selassie of Brazil needed to up their game. For Africa, it's all gloomy, as no nation, unfortunately, has recorded even a point. Still here with me to analyze these and Tunisia's chances later tonight, George Addo Jr., Hans Mensah. So, gentlemen, are you surprised by the surprises?
Well, that's a good question. I'm surprised, maybe a bit. Maybe a bit. Normally in the opening games, you expect it to be very, very tight. But you expect teams like Brazil and like Argentina, especially when they're playing against Iceland, to have a way through it. And look, let's be fair. I mean, in the 2010 World Cup, Spain lost the first game and still won it. So yeah, it's not been. But the truth is that I don't know whether you want to call them underdogs or you want to call them the slightly not favorites, whatever you want to call them. They've come to the party and they're matching up. We haven't seen star men truly make a difference, unless that Spain-Portugal game I saw clearly Diego Costa stepping up and doing a lot, and of course Cristiano Ronaldo stepping up for Portugal. But even that, when you do the analysis of that, Spain, Portugal, 3-3, 1 point. And Argentina, Iceland, everybody's talking about Lionel Messi missing the penalty, is also another point. So Spain, 1 point, Portugal, 1 point, Germany, 1 point, Brazil,
Germany
1 point.
0 points.
Hello, what's happening here in the World Cup? We haven't started.
Okay, so what's gone wrong for the high and mighty, especially defending champions Germany? Yeah,
I mean, coming into this tournament, the pre-tournament games had not really been impressive, and so for a lot of people, they are not too surprised by what they've seen of the Germans. But that game had imprints from the 2002 FIFA World Cup, where France, as defending champions, lost by a 0-0, also against Senegal. So these things do happen. For me, maybe it's good that they've had a spanner thrown in their works very early in this tournament. I'm talking about the Germans, because I think that they are going to come in strongly in their second game. For Brazil, I think they were a bit sluggish. After scoring the first goal, they appear to be a team that are not focused on dazzling. They want to be efficient and get the job done. And so,
but Neymar struggled. Neymar struggled. Neymar was given the chance to operate.
No, nobody's going to give you the chance to operate. He acts as if his demeanor is like, well, when I get the ball, you just have to allow me to pass. And nobody's going to do that. They will hack you down, they will heckle you, they will bring you down. And, he has to deal with it. He has to be a bit stronger on the ball. He has to be a bit more purposeful. Switzerland had a game plan. They stuck to it. Brazil came with a game plan, but the attitude was simply not right. You can decide to be functional. You can decide not to be flamboyant. You can decide to be efficient, but the attitude has got to be right. They need to put up a bit more fight.
You see, quite simply.
You disagree?
Yeah, almost. You see what? Quite simply, these big guns you talk about, Germany and Spain Portugal. You know what? They started the game. When they start the game, they seem to get the first goal, and they feel like we're in normal territory. Guys, take it easy. But what they don't realize is that the other teams they're playing against are very, very motivated. And before they know it, and you watch the Argentina-Iceland game, before they knew it, they had the equalizer. And once they had the equalizer, they now started trying to get around them. Now, these Iceland guys are so tall, so strong, and they realized that was difficult. Messi half them popped. In the same case, Brazil they started quite well. They got the first goal, and they're like, hello guys, we're going to do this. We're just going to do this. In Germany, it was almost like, let's size up Mexico. And they realized in 10 or 15 minutes that this Mexican team was something else. And it took the coach so long a time. It took the players so long a time to find out what. It's like a tornado had hit them. And Mexico should have beaten Germany, last night, in last afternoon or yesterday, by 4-0. I did the counting. I gave them 5 chances away. They should have beaten them by 4-0. So I think what will happen in the next round, Germany, Brazil, Argentina would say, now we have to show them we are. And they have got it in them. I tell you, the German team is just on the first gear. And the German machine normally at tournaments takes it very easy. Hans makes Yes, Hans makes the point about defending champions, the case. We saw what happened to France. We saw what happened to Spain. We saw what happened to Italy. And what happened to Argentina.
So it's a trend. We should expect it.
It's a trend. No, but I think the German team have got more gears to switch into.
No, but George, you see, if we go back to the France example, they never recovered. in 2002.
Yeah. Okay, you
got knocked out, you know, in the
but
stage.
This Germany will won the Confederations Cup.
You need no, of course.
And they've got 2-3 layers.
You have got to hit the ground running from the very first game. There is a chance you may not recover. Get the first 3 points. Make sure you don't lose. It's safer to get the first 3 points.
To recover from the loss of the first match as a defending champion. Okay, but what's happening to our African teams?
Right.
No goal, not even a single point.
Okay, so it's about time African countries at the World Cup do away with the massive respect that they show opponents. We need to
you think it's a mind problem?
No, yes.
They lose it here before they even go to the pitch.
I think Africa's problem is mental. The mentality is not right. We show opponents too much respect. Look at how Nigeria played. And compared to how Mexico played against Germany. They showed Germany no respect. They came in to play to win. They gave everything to win, and they got. You have Nigeria setting up to get a point rather than to get all 3 points. And that's the difference. That's key. They set up to get 1 point rather than to risk getting all 3 points and get nothing. If you don't risk it, you will get nothing. It's as simple as that.
I think this is...
You have to risk losing to give yourself a chance to win.
He is, good point. I think it's just 10% of what's happening to African teams.
Okay.
The truth is there's a gulf in class when it comes to quality, and we should accept that. I'm sorry, but that's just the point.
I don't think so.
Now you
but
know,
we have African players playing in English leagues.
I'm going to explain that.
Exactly. I really don't think so. They are playing these guys week in, week out and besting them.
Let's take the Nigerian team. Who are your star players in Nigeria? You say Alexi Iwobi and Victor Moses. I'm sorry, we've seen Victor Moses in Chelsea and what he's about. We've seen Alexi Iwobi and that's Arsenal team and we know what they're about. Go back to Croatia. You're talking about Mandzukic, Juventus. You're talking about Luka Modric has won how many Champions League trophies? That's where it comes. You're talking about Perisic, Inter Milan.
Oh, come
on. And you were talking about players. And you see, for me, the difference is we play the football. We do not do the necessary things. Watch. We are not able to take advantage of set pieces. Cristiano Ronaldo stands behind a set piece and makes it 3-3. There's a corner kick and they get to equalize. Now, we don't take advantage of set pieces. Our game makes us so naive when we play these kind of games. And I was saying this, in the other World Cups, we had fantastic teams like Nigeria of '94, maybe like Ghana of 2010, like Senegal of 2002. I don't see fantastic temes in this tournament. And that's why I say I cannot see how any of these African teams...
And there lies a mental blockade. Here's a mental blockade. The fact that
Egypt cannot match Uruguay with the quality. And
the fact that we think that even with fantastic teams, the best we can do is the quarterfinals.
No, I haven't said that.
I'm coming. That's a problem in itself. So we seem to think that, well, Ghana had a fantastic team and all they did was to make it to the quarterfinals. Until we start thinking that we can actually win it, we will not make the semifinals. I don't think any team, I don't think any African team at this tournament believes that they can actually win the World Cup.
Okay. They're not good enough.
And so you won't be able to even go beyond the quarterfinals that Africa has been able to achieve. You need to believe that, look, I can win this. Senegal must believe that they can beat the world champions Germany. And they can beat them. I believe they can beat them. Nigeria must believe that they can beat Argentina, and they can beat them. If Iceland can hold Argentina, if Ghana can hold Iceland, I don't see why Nigeria can't beat Argentina.
Okay, so his argument is that probably African teams don't match up to the Iceland
when we're making the point,
quality.
Someone says, so Ghana managed to beat Czech Republic, but go and check the Ghana midfield again. Michael Essien was bossing things those times. When we see how players were bossing things, I'm sorry about Egypt. Egypt didn't have Mohamed Salah playing the game. So no Mohamed Salah. Who were the players who were going to be marching up to the likes of Luis Suarez?
I don't focus on the names.
You see, you don't focus on the names. I'm not focusing on the names. I'm looking at the technique. I'm looking at the organization of the teams that is making a difference here. For anyone to even think that Iceland as a minnow was a big mistake. They played well in the Euros, qualified very well to the World Cup. There is a plan. I think we don't have a plan.
As far as the World Cup goes, Iceland...
Hans, you know what? I'm saying this. If you run the World Cup 20 years, some of these European teams already have young teams and building. There is no plan in Africa. The development is a problem. And that's what, when we get to the world stage, we get to see it.
That reminds me of the team that, Andrea, you won. Was it the
under 20
team? And we all had hope that that team could be carried over into a World Cup.
We had a number of them in the 2010 FIFA World Cup. A number of them went to the 2010.
I like Hans. I like Hans and the way he's going about. You feel African, make it work, but I'm sorry, the quality is what will definitely come to show. And I'm telling you,
even when we've had the quality, the belief has been lacking. And that for me is a fundamental problem.
Oh no, we almost
you see, you must believe.
But we had a Samuel John. We had Kevin Prince Boateng.
You must believe that you can do it. Otherwise, you won't be able to do it. If you don't believe you can do it, how then do you do it?
All right. I'm sure we're going to go on and on.
There are 5 African teams at the World Cup.
You're not going to agree
we have England. We have England. It's amazing when I'm here with Hans anyway. But we have England and Tunisia tonight.
Exactly. But before we go into that night game, let's just still focus on some of the big teams that we believe didn't live up to expectation. Yeah. And Brazil should bench Neymar. Do you think?
I don't think so. It was a difficult game for everybody, but Neymar has come to save them so many times. Not exactly. They'll have to understand that they're in a competition where they need to start playing. Neymar must begin to get the reorientation that's important from him. He's still feeling like I'm a star. Give me the way to play. He must understand people will hack you down because you're Neymar, and begin to do the things when people are hacking you down by just laying the short passes and creating spaces for your teammates to score a goal. That's what will work out for them. So
I don't think he needs to be benched. He needs some talking to him. Two things. Maybe he hasn't really fully recovered from the injury that he suffered with his club. Maybe yes, there's also mental block where he feels that I don't really need to commit fully to challenges. Otherwise,
for star players like that, do you think that they're always waiting on referees to save them? Because sometimes that's the impression I get. Because and they're like, can you see what they're doing to me?
Yeah,
exactly.
I've listened to one of those England legends when they won the World Cup, and they will tell you that I think a game against Brazil, I think Sir Bobby Charlton, he was saying that if it was today, the entire England team would have been sent off for various challenges on Pele then. But we are in a different age. We are consistently talking. The game has become commercial. You need Neymar to stay fit in the tournament for you to sell. You need all the star players for them to stay fit and perform for the tournament to sell. And so there is that expectation that referees are going to protect players. Please, this is a game of football. It's a contact sport. Players must begin to understand that opponents are not simply going to stand there and watch you, go through them and go score. They are going to hack you down. And so they need to be a bit stronger. Physically, Neymar is a strong player. I don't know why he didn't bring that to bear, because some challenges that he went down that I felt were a bit too soft. It's a game of football.
All right, so later tonight, Tunisia will carry the burden of being the first African country to get a point when they come up against the 3 Lions of England.
I sense a hint of sarcasm in your voice.
Need the points badly. So what should we look forward to?
Right.
The Africans will hope to win, but you know what?
England.
Tunisia are good at playing as a unit, and I'll be hoping that they can learn from what Algeria did in the last tournament. If they stick as playing as a unit, then yes, they're fine. But if you talk about players who can make a difference in this game, I think Harry Kane and co want to come to the party, because there's an English team that are looking like they have a lot of enterprise and all of that. I don't have too much hope really for Tunisia in going to this game. I think if they're able to pull a draw, it'll be good. If they're able to win over the top, but I don't expect.
I like one thing.
World Cup already.
I like one thing that George said. Yeah. It's an English team. It's England. They are called the 3 Lions. They're actually lions when they are playing the qualifier. I mentioned it the other time, but they are more like cats.
They might prove
in major tournaments.
They might prove you wrong.
They could. Yes, they could. But I think that Tunisia should be a game. They must believe that they can beat England. I haven't seen an extraordinary England team at a major tournament.
You don't have an extraordinary Tunisian team too.
Well, so there are 2 ordinary teams. Let Tunisia believe that England are ordinary, and that's a good start.
But you see, I mean, this is one. Even if you believe,
but England are ordinary.
I agree. Believing is one thing. Getting onto the pitch and doing it is another. Just watch it. Look at how
believing has a role to play.
Yes, I know.
And how you even
believe that.
yourself.
Look, it is an ordinary team.
Look, when the game is tied, and you need a free kick or a corner kick to make a difference, it won't be an African team.
Okay,
when the game is tied and it's penalty shootout, it won't be an African team.
Let's go back to Ronaldo's last free kick shot against Spain.
Yeah.
Now, listening to commentators and pundits, they all tell you the way he looked at the ball, the way he looked at the post and pulled up his shots. the mental fortitude, the belief
attitude.
system.
Do you see that attitude with African players?
Alone.
But do you know why you get the attitude? You get the attitude when you have won so many Champions Leagues he's won, and when you are the world
Are you
best
sure it's
player,
not from self-belief?
No, it's not. It's not.
No.
Self-belief is one, but something builds up before your self-belief is made.
I have seen players who have won nothing with
listen,
so much self-belief.
honestly, when you know that there's
you almost think that they have a false sense of themselves.
Come on,
look.
Cristiano Ronaldo is a confident guy.
What did Ahmed do?
And does that help him or
See,
not?
when Cristiano stands right in front of the ball, he says, I've done this over and over again, and I'm doing this again. When your African players stand before the ball, can I try? Maybe God help me.
Maybe like Hans is saying, they should tell themselves,
that is the exact point that I'm making.
I want to make the difference now.
If you stand behind, if you stand behind the ball and you think that I am a nobody, I am not Cristiano Ronaldo, so I can't hit the back of the net. Instantly, you've lost it.
But let me show you why.
You have lost it even before you take the kick. Africa must start believing that they can win the World Cup. Otherwise, no, we have not been believing.
Africa has been believing since 1950.
No, Africa hasn't been believing.
If you are, Dennis, if you are hosting another
Africa hasn't been believing that the continent can win the World Cup. Look, I'm coming. Which one of these 5 countries at the World Cup believe that they can win the World Cup? None.
Do you think any of them can win the World Cup?
I don't
so. think so. That's
okay. So
we are calling for Injo Nimokafu and Co. That's we're talking about football, and you need to be sure that you have it, because already, if I ask you to pick your top 4 teams even before this World Cup started, I'll be surprised if you put an African team.
I mentioned Morocco.
No, Morocco. Morocco will turn out to be the worst. For what I saw them do against Iran.
Well,
and it should tell you, see, and that's why
the African teams must
I have nothing against Africa, but if we believe football is a passion, we need to start working it, and we need to get into the art of developing players and making sure our talents are in here. And we need the help of government in starting all of that. So,
all right.
Since we haven't gotten there, I know here we love the Akwesi Die and all. I think in Europe they take football like a culture, they take it like a festival, and they work. It's part of them. Here we see it as some money-making venture, sell players on 3 points. That change must come, because realize now Africa is way behind. I can say Europe is up there. The South Americas, the Americas are also in there. Now Asia is stepping ahead of Africa.
Where does the change begin?
Because look at Iran, look at Japan, look at South Korea, and suddenly you realize that Africa is being left behind. We have a lot of work to do, because these are our best 5.
Well, let's see how it turns out this evening in that game, Tunisia versus England,
and Belgium, Panama as well.
And Belgium versus Panama. And you're going to be doing live commentary
for... Yes, I'll be describing England versus Tunisia. He'll be describing Belgium.
All right, and what times on Joy 99?
That's later in the evening, 6 p.m. for England, Tunisia, and then 3 p.m. for
Panama, Belgium.
Panama. Who's winning again?
Interesting.
Belgium is another team that can win the tournament.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they've got some African players in there.
They've got some good players.
I mean, got African players.
And we're also
they've got Marouane Fellaini.
Yeah, and you know, that's also another point.
Yeah,
we're
African
selling
players.
Some of our good players, but we're not encouraging them to play.
The French team looks like an African team.
I know, it's the United States of Africa.
They're helping them.
Well, so we'll be back here, God willing, tomorrow to discuss that match. Hopefully, Tunisia can get a first win for an African team in Russia 2018. Thank you, gentlemen.